Okay, so you're tall as shit and you want a naked sport motorcycle. This video is for you. What's up everyone? It's Alex. Answering viewer questions again, let's just get right into it. I've had several questions recently on naked sport motorcycles for tall riders. And they weren't really specific on beginners or advanced, so we're gonna do the beginner one first. We'll just read a couple of them real quick. So one was from Richard, who said, what naked bike would you recommend for a big tall rider? And another one was from Mike, and I'm not gonna read the last name on it because Mike was trying to be funny with that. You know who you are. But Mike said, what if I want a standard bike, naked sport, street fighter, whatever the F it's called. I'm 6'5", 36-inch inseam. There were several more, you get the idea. So we'll do beginners first. It's gonna be a two-parter. This one is gonna be naked sport bike recommendations for tall beginners, which I've mentioned in other videos, but we'll just do it again because it was asked. The next one, like the next video, will be naked sport bike suggestion for tall experienced riders, because that is a very, very different discussion. So, naked sport bike suggestions for tall beginners, okay? There are a lot of bikes in this category that will work fine for tall beginners. The first thing to understand is that even your smaller to mid-sized bikes, if they've got more than like a 30 or 31 inch seat height on them, most tall people will fit on that. Like you could be 6'5", 6'8", and you can ride an SV650 or something like that. It just depends on how comfortable your knees are gonna be, and different people are built differently. So the first thing I would actually suggest, if you are a tall person that likes the naked sport bike or street fighter look, first off, I would highly recommend possibly starting on a dual purpose bike for your first bike, because you're gonna get that kind of more naked urban street fighter kind of a deal, but you're gonna get a nice tall bike, and you can get dual purpose bikes that are taller as far as seat height with smaller engines on them. So you'll be able to get a dual purpose motorcycle in the 400cc or less that's gonna have a taller seat height and will let you stretch out more. So first I would look at a lot of the beginner dual purpose bikes that I've mentioned over and over and over again on the channel. Anything 400cc and under in a dual purpose bike, if you're a tall beginner, try that first. Go sit on a few of those, see if you can make yourself like that so you can learn and get your skills, and then move on to a naked bike. However, you just hate the look of dual purpose bikes, you don't want it, you want a street fighter, you want a naked sport motorcycle, tall beginners. Okay, first off, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Look at an SV650 first. They're incredible, they're gentle enough where a beginner can start on them if they keep their head on their shoulders. They have a lot of technology on them now, the newer ones do, to help beginners. And they are a motorcycle of just legendary reliability that can also keep you happy for a long time moving forward. Okay, don't like the SV650, you can't fit on it, just not the bike for you, okay? Let's look at a few other options. Honda CB500F and CB650F from the last few years. Usually you can find them reasonably inexpensive. They are a decent looking naked motorcycle. They are very, very friendly and very tailored towards being gentle for what they are. And they have been quickly building popularity with that like more beginner naked bike kind of a scene. I don't think I would recommend that as much as an SV650, but if you don't like the SV650, sit on a CB500F and a CB650F, see what you think. Even more recommended than that though, for a taller beginner, I would recommend finding and sitting on an MT-07, which for the first year or so was the FZ-07 in the US, but look at an FZ-07/MT-07, or for a little bit more money with an even taller seat height, go for an XSR 700. Same motor, same frame, different seat, different setup, more a little like retro looking kind of a deal, but it has a little bit taller seat height, at least it feels like a taller seat height to me. So check out like the MT-07 and or the XSR 700 for a decently tall, like mid-size kind of a naked bike. It's also got kind enough manners where a beginner can learn on it, but it has enough to keep you happy in the long run. With these naked sport motorcycles for tall beginners, unfortunately most of your smallest, most responsible small engine naked sport bikes are also going to be on the short side and are going to be very uncomfortable for the taller riders. That's why I'm recommending stuff in like this, you know, 600 to 700, 600, 650, 700cc category, because most of those bikes will be tall enough and stretched out just enough where a taller beginner can be comfortable on it and have confidence and learn their skills. Because even if you're on a small motorcycle with a small engine, even though that is better for the horsepower stance for a beginner, if you're a big person and you're crumpled up like a little pretzel jockey on too small of a motorcycle, it's going to throw off your handling, it's going to throw off your confidence, and you're going to be much more likely to make a mistake, I think, than if you're on a mid-sized motorcycle that still has a tame enough engine with good enough manners for a beginner, but will let you stretch a little bit more and get comfortable. And that's the theory behind that. I am gonna get a lot of comments in this that are gonna be like, oh, I can't believe you're recommending a 650cc motorcycle for a beginning, you idiot. Whatever, man. This comes from years of experience, and if you're just too big to fit on a 250, then it's irresponsible to put you on a motorcycle you are physically too damn large for, because you're gonna be like this with your handlebars, and you're gonna dump the thing, and then you're not gonna have the confidence to get back on it and learn your skills. If you're 6'5" and I put you on an SV650 and you're comfortable enough on it, and you keep your damn hand out of the throttle, you can learn your skills just fine and enjoy motorcycling for decades to come. So focus on those. Focus on an SV650, a CB500/CB650F, like an MT-07 or an XSR 700, and other motorcycles in that category for the naked stuff. If you want a cheaper one, go look for an old 600 Bandit, man. The 600 Bandit was a tough as nails little street fighter that can be very, very good for a little bit taller beginner. They're getting a little old now. They're getting a little long in the tooth, so it might be hard to find one. They're going to be used, but if you do find one, they're going to be dirt cheap. So you don't like any of the rest of these, you want a cheap one? The 600 Bandit would be your dirt cheap one. But if you want a little bit more expensive one, like if you got a little bit of a budget and you're a beginner and you want a piece of rideable motorcycle artwork in the tall street fighter type of category, go look at a Ducati Monster 797. That thing has actually really, really impressed me with what you can do for a naked Street Fighter style motorcycle that has a big enough, fun enough engine on it to keep someone happy for a long time, but actually does have good enough manners where a not so experienced rider can get used to it. And the 797 specifically, they widened out the handlebars on a little bit and they dropped the pegs on just a little bit. So I think that actually is a much better setup for a bigger, taller rider than some of the other smaller monsters have been over the years, because you get your legs down a little bit and your arms out just a little bit, kind of spread out just a little bit. So if you're a big, tall rider who's got more of a budget and you want the fancier end of the spectrum, you're gonna spend some money, but the 797 is a really, really nice choice, and that thing is absolutely gorgeous. So that's it. That should be enough suggestions just to get you started. I mentioned, what, 5 or 6 motorcycles in the course of this video, so find those, go sit on them, see what you think. As always, if none of them work for you, you need more suggestions, put a specific comment in the comments below. I will do my best to answer it. I've been getting really, really good, trying to get really good about answering every single comment lately and trying to make videos on the ones that I can. So put it in there, let's have a discussion. I will make more of these. The next video will be my best recommendations on naked Street Fighter type of motorcycles for experienced riders, because there are some amazing motorcycles in that category, but they are not for beginners whatsoever. So I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it's helped. I'm Alex. Peace.